everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be making a rosemary mint cold brew coffee, and I'm going to try the viral TikTok Pesto Egg. The simple syrup is just like a sugar syrup, and it's just made with equal parts of water and sugar. So I'm just gonna do 2 cups of water and 2 cups of sugar, and I'm just going to let that go for about 10 minutes. I have it on high. I'm gonna set a timer for exactly 10 minutes and then just stir it so that the sugar dissolves. My son and I were perusing a local lake town. So we were in this town and there was this like cold brew nitro rosemary mint coffee, and it is like the best thing I've ever tasted. And I was recently given this bunch of rosemary from my brother's garden. I've had it hanging upside down in my kitchen. I really want to use this for something, so I'm just gonna take this whole entire bunch and put it into this syrup. So I'm doing this ahead of time. I'm doing this the day before so I can have it tomorrow morning. And I'm just gonna cut this into pieces that will be, you know, big enough to just easily transfer into a jar. I'm actually going to turn it down to like a medium because I don't want it to boil per se, but I do want it to kind of simmer. I'm gonna set this back outside and hopefully grow some more mint. There's my rosemary, there's my mint. It's just like one little bunch of mint. That's all I had left. I used some of it to make a salad earlier today. When I was putting my mint back outside, we have a lime tree in Michigan. We have it outside, but when it starts to get cold, we're gonna move it back inside. But we've had this thing for like 3 years now, and look at the little limes that it finally sprouted. They're so teeny tiny. I bet I could use these in something. It just tastes like lime rind. I think I just missed. I think I thought I hit record and I did not. But I added the rosemary and mint. I'm just letting it kind of simmer for like 60 seconds. Once that time is up, I'm going to turn it off, remove it from the heat, and let it sit and steep together until it completely cools down. There it is. So tomorrow you'll see it in the jar. I almost forgot to make the cold brew. Just taking a bottle like this. There's like this strainer. This could be used for tea, but exclusively I use this for cold brewing coffee. And I just take Café du Monde. It's coffee and chicory. So I'm just going to fill this, and then I fill the other compartment with water. So this side opens up, and this is where you put the water. Shake it really well, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, it is the following day, and I'm going to make my coffee to have with my breakfast. And this cold brew has been brewing for about 15 hours. I started it last night at about 6 p.m. and it's 9 a.m. So you could do, I think, 12 to 24 hours and it's ready to go. And this will last for a couple weeks. Cold brew is a lot stronger, so I use less. I only do about 4 to 6 ounces, and if I need more liquid, you know, I'll either use creamer and oat milk, or I'll add water even. To make this drink similar to the one I had, I'm basically going to follow the rule of like making a cocktail, because simple syrups are used to make cocktails usually. When I can't find my measuring cups, these make really great measuring cups because it has the measurements right here in ounces. So I'm just gonna do 4 ounces of, actually I'm gonna do like 5 ounces of my brew. Okay. Oh my gosh, this smells so much like rosemary. So simple syrup is very liquidy. When you make it, don't expect it to look like honey or maple syrup. It's a lot thinner than that. I'm just gonna use my whisk to mix it up. I imagine if you don't have a whisk, you could use like a cocktail shaker, because again, we're using the syrup in the same way. I like my coffees really sweet, and this is really sweet. Not in a bad way, it's actually really nice. I love doing cold brew because it's a lot smoother than when you hot brew it and then put it on ice. And I think it's less acidic somehow. I don't know the science of it, but there is my rosemary and mint cold brew coffee for this morning. Okay, I'm gonna make my breakfast, and if you watched my last video, it will be the pasta from the kids movie that my kid's obsessed with right now, called Luca. But I take garlic, pine nuts, basil, olive oil, salt, and grated parmesan and romano. It says 2 tablespoons of each. The oil, it says to use 100 milliliters, and it's like a little under 7 tablespoons. And the pine nuts, it's about 1/4 cup. And for the basil, my plant didn't regenerate as fast, so I used like 2 entire little plants that I had. But you can get these containers. This says it's 42 grams. You need about 50. Remember that this weight is also including like the stems, which we're not using, we just need the leaves. So I just used 2 whole containers like this, and then just like a big pinch of salt. Actually, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna toast the pine nuts before I blend everything together. To toast nuts like in a pan, you wanna start the pan cold with them in it, turn on the heat, and as it comes to, you just start shaking it. These pine nuts are like super hot, so I put them on this little mini sheet pan, and I'm just going to let them cool down. Alright, now that these have cooled, I'm just going to add them to my little blender. It's best to use, if you want to make this the real way, you would use like I don't know how to say it in English very well, but it's a molcajete, and it's like a stone bowl with a stone grinder. That's what you would use for this. I'm just going to use my blender. So I just added the nuts. I'm adding all the basil, set in my cheeses, like a teaspoon. To my pan, just going to add some pesto. This kind of reminds me of like the eggs in Purgatory, where it's like in a spicy tomato and you just kind of plop the eggs into the tomato sauce, but you're just using pesto. And I really like pesto, so that's why I wanted to try this one. I just realized that I do not have any sort of gluten-free bread because I think this is served over toast. So I am just going to have it with some deli ham. And there is my breakfast. It's the viral TikTok pesto egg, and I homemade the pesto. I'm gonna have that with my rosemary, mint, cold brew coffee. And there's my breakfast. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will check you in the next one. Please like, share, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for being here, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.